So, next we've got reviews. So let's we can start with you.
Definitely want Isha to go first. Yeah, I really want to hear how Beastars was. So go Beastars, because I added it to my list, and I asked my son the other day, "Do you want to watch it?" And he was like, "No." I'm like, "Damn it!"
Firstly, wasn't expecting the Beastars to be on point like that. It's completely left when I thought it was going to be right. It's brilliant, by the way. Let me just put that out there. It's brilliant. So basically, I'm not going to spoil it, but long short story of it. Yeah. Have you seen Zootropolis?
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Dope movie.
No, it's a banging movie. Right. So take away take away the crazy sheep doing all the madness and just have animals, trying to coexist with one another who naturally have instincts. And these animals are in college. Yeah, they got their puberty instincts and they got their animal instincts and they're kind of colliding. Yeah, so 3 main characters. We've got
Vicious
the wolf.
And sexy.
You got the wolf. Can't remember his name. I'm so sorry. It sounds like Legolas, but it's not. But got the wolf and you've got a dwarf bunny. Yeah. So the wolf, he's in drama club. He works the lights. He's a cool guy. He's a 6'3" wolf, grey wolf. Yeah, he's about this life and like he's mad strong, but he tries to be really like timid because he knows he doesn't want to f nobody up and he's whatever. And then something mad happens with him and the bunny. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but you have to watch this. Something mad happens with the bunny. Yeah, and the drama club sent him to go and like get flowers for a scene because he has to get he does props and costumes and whatever. And this bunny now, obviously you know what they say about bunnies, they get a bat. Yeah. This bunny gets a bat, innit? Like she's out here, she's doing her thing. So like no, there was a funny scene. I haven't laughed out loud like watching something for a long time, but like there was a funny scene. So he goes there.
Sorry, I need to interject. I'm really sorry. I don't mean to interject. I do mean to. I'm going to interject.
Interject.
Teens or adult, this show?
Adult teens. So 17 upwards. 17 upwards. Yeah.
I want to know how funny this bunny begins.
I mean, when you said that you were like, oh, does my son want to watch it? I'm like, maybe not. Maybe it's just you.
Like that. Right.
Maybe it's just you for now. You get me? You just censor it, and then maybe you can bring him in later on.
Yeah,
you know. But like,
trying to see that bunny and wolf action.
So like, he goes to visit the bunny, and he's chatting, and she like makes him do a couple of chores. And oh no, it's just a bit of jokes. And then like they go into like this little like hut thing, and she's like, and he does like, a lot of internal monologuing, like just chatting to himself inside. And then like she's like, oh, you know, thanks for helping me out. Oh, what do you want to eat? And in his head, he's like, oh,
you want some bunny?
He's thinking like as a wolf, he's like, I eat meat in it, and she's a herbivore and he's a carnivore. And he's like, I can't. In his head, he's like, I can't tell her like I want meat because that would scare her. So he's having this internal monologue here, and he's not talking to her. And she's looking at him, and she goes, "Oh, my girl starts backing off her dress now. There in her bunny panty and bra and little turn up socks." And she comes up to him. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. She comes up to him. She goes, I've never been with a carnival before. This should be fun. You can be rough. I can take it. I was like, what the?
Yeah, I'll probably watch that tonight.
Yeah, when I tell you, it's the funniest thing. And the way they've done it is so brilliant. Like the mentality behind, it's not just like, oh, they're just animals. Like they really go into like the psychology of like what it means to be like a carnivore and a herbivore. And maybe being attracted to each other in that way. Like, it's really, really good. And, like, the whole premise is that someone gets... Well, you'll see it anyway, but something bad happens to someone in the beginning. But, like, they don't really explore that in the actual series. But a lot is going on. So it kind of goes out your head. And then they leave you with a nice cliffhanger at the end. So when I say recommend it, go and watch it. Beastars is hilarious, intelligent, and just wild. It's great. It's great. It's just great. It's just very great. So yes.
Me. Some eat meat.
They eat meat.
See.
It's always around this time it breaks up.
I know. It's just like whenever we get to like the 1 hour mark, it's like come off and come back on.
Yeah.
Try that. But yes, when Kieran comes back, because he is slightly frozen, it's fine. It's all right. He has not got the virus. It's cool. But yeah, Beastars is banging. Yeah. I would say it's a 4.9.
It sounds interesting, and that's all on. That's on Netflix as well, right?
That's on Netflix. So it's only season 1 that's dropped. If I go and watch it, it's when I say it's adult content, it's adult content. Like just go and watch it. It's for us, isn't it? Like,
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay. You just flip sides. There's no worries. What's my second review? Kingdom. Yes. Kingdom season 2. Basically about zombies. Yeah. It's really good. So basically, in season 1, they find a flower that can resurrect people. An army, obviously a kingdom, find it, and they were like, "Oh, cool, we're going to resurrect our soldiers." It goes a bit bad. Obviously, they start nyamming up people, but they don't recognize that the zombies are hiding from the sun. So they don't like. So the plant basically, the plant is reacting to weather. So if it's in somebody and it's a zombie, then the zombie's going to react like the plant does. So it's baking hot, and every time the sun comes out, zombies are fleeing to shade, and they're just like dormant for a little while. And then at night time, when it's cooler, they come out and do some madness. We're back. We can see you. We can hear you. It's amazing. Yeah, you're
I'm on my phone.
Okay,
I'm on my phone.
It's
laptop
okay.
Things. What was I going to say? Start off saying something.
You said something about carnivores, yes.
Yeah, I was just wondering how they do it in the show, because like Donald Duck would be sitting there eating turkey and it's weird. And I imagine in a show like this, they would, I don't know, is there like chicken? Is there like a bunny factory where they, I don't know, do some bunnies sacrifice their lives for these wolves to eat?
No, but chickens do lay eggs for people, and I think the carnivores eat a kind of like a manufactured meat. So it's not like so it's not actually like meat, but again, but watch it, it's amazing, it's brilliant. But yes, Kingdom. So in season 1 we saw all of that, zombies hiding from the sun because the plant doesn't like heat. In season 2, unfortunately, they find out that obviously it's coming into winter, so all the zombies are just running around the place all the time. There's a lot going on. There's like hierarchy madness, because obviously you've got this kind of like Ming dynasty mixed with zombiness, which is really, really good. Like at first I wasn't, like, my brother recommended Kingdom, to be fair. It's a good shout, bro. Love you, man. I was like, but then I watched it and it's really, really good. So if you just like a good zombie series, watch it. It's great. Don't watch October Fraction. Really good, but I don't know what kind of Tipex they asked them to finish the show off with. Poor thing, I feel like their budget got cut. Don't watch it. It's upsetting at the end. And I recently just watched, sidebar, I recently just watched Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, and I have so many issues with that. I didn't sleep. I really didn't sleep.
It's best not to talk about that.
There's
way too many things to talk about with that.
Me and my brother were looking at each other like,
what the hell?
The fuck is going on? It's
going to be months from now. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be months from now. I would have seen that movie. Then it'll be time to do the source wall, and I will just lose my shit. I can't wait.
We are definitely going to do. We're going to do an episode of what the fuck went wrong with certain things in film, TV. We're going to go ham.
Definitely
right now, not now. But that is my review. But Beastars, definitely a 5 out of 5. And Kingdom, a 4 out of 8, because the dubbing is a little bit, oh my god, but it's fun. Yeah. But watch Kingdom and definitely watch Beastars. Yay!
All right, so Kieran, what's going on with Young Justice?
Oh, man, I had the time and I was like, I'm gonna binge read I had some time that I decided to binge read Young Justice.
Mm-hmm.
The latest issue was Young Justice, issue 14. Young Justice got real. Because basically what had happened is that all the main ones, or some of the main ones, basically they went not time traveling, multiverse hopping. They went to this place called Gemworld. They found Superboy, the original Superboy, brought him back with this girl called Amethyst. We got a new Green Lantern called Teen Lantern. We've got Impulse is back, and we've got Cassidy Sandsmark, who was Wonder Girl. Tim Drake, who's gone from Robin to Red Robin back to Robin, and is now Drake.
Wow.
These Batman characters could just be changing their names. Oh, and we've got Ginny Hex, who's the great granddaughter of Jonah Hex.
Okay.
Went to this place called the Gemworld, and then they ended up leaving Gemworld, and they went through different multiverses, different Earths in the multiverse, and now they're back home. And Superboy went to find a woman who sent him to Gemworld in the first place. She sent him to another place. So all the Titans are like, no, and also then they met Naomi. And yes, so Star Labs was investigating Naomi's situation with what happened in her comic books. So it's all intertwined with Young Justice.
Ooh.
Naomi joins Young Justice. Superboy goes missing, so they're like, okay, we gotta go find out what's going on with this Star Labs woman. So they go after her, and she sends like multiverse monsters after them, and they're like, you know what, we need reinforcements. So Tim Drake, Red Robin, whatever you want to call him, sends Impulse to get some old heads. He sends him to get Aqualad from the Young Justice TV show, Spoiler from like Detective Comics, and Arrowette. No, you don't know who Arrowette is, but back in the day when I was reading Young Justice, like when I was probably reading the original Young Justice comics, Arrowette was one of the originals, but she retired. She was one of Green Arrow's sidekicks, and she was dope. She's like the best archer in the world. But she and Sideways. You know DC's Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They brought him back as well. So Impulse went to get all of these guys. They rocked up to this like desert Star Labs hideout and just murked all these paranormal multiversal monsters. And I'm not gonna ruin the whole thing, but because I read it in like a bulk. Oh, they also got Dial H for Hero. These two kids who like have this phone, this old ass phone.
Yeah.
And they get superpowers. And one of the superpowers, when they did it, I don't know if you can see this image. Hang on. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's basically when you dial the phone, you get superpowers. And he dialed it, and he basically, they didn't say it, where he got Spider-Man's powers.
Dial for fun.
They go off and they go find Connor Kent, who's Superboy, and try and help him. And how did the comic end? How did it end?
Don't spoil it.
Oh no, I'm just curious. I just want to see if I can get to like a point.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, it didn't end. It was dope. They ended up this fight, they confront the woman, and then it's at a point where we have to find out what's happening next. But I read it from issue 11 up until 14 because I was that far behind, so it's all muddled in my head. But Young Justice, Brian Michael Bendis is doing a great job with Young Justice. I'm so proud of what he's doing. I'm happy Young Justice is back. Happy I binge read it. I'm happy I'm collecting it. And I'm way past being in my teens now, but these were the guys that I was reading when I was in my teens. And I'm just happy that back. It's just really taking me back to how I felt when I was reading these comics in them times. Back when it was Superboy, Robin, and Impulse. We like the and one sick, man.
How many nerds?
Man, all the nerds, man.
All the nerds. That's a source full of proof.
There was nothing I didn't like, because you know when comics or TV shows or something, they do that thing where there's a story going on, but they kind of do this annoying thing where they drag it out unnecessarily. I have to say, Young Justice is just getting to the point. It's getting straight to the point, and I really like that, in my opinion.
Woohoo!
Nice.
I also read issue 4.
Oh, I haven't read that yet. Nah.
Have you not? Why me tell you?
Can we do that? Let's do that next week, please.
You know what, Rick?
I'm gonna read it after this.
All I'm gonna say is
Okay. Thanks for the spoiler.
Why tell you?
Thanks for the spoilers.
Loki's in the issue. That's who that is.
Alright.
Oh my
It's in the
days.
issue before that and the one before that as well. But
Okay.
I really want to talk about this one, so hurry up and read
Okay,
it.
okay.
Oh my
So
god.
what I did read,
Okay, Vix.
I did read
Mm.
XMen issue 8. I'll just do a quick shindig with it.
I still have seven.
Because this one I read last week as well, so I can,
Okay.
Basically, the Brood are back. How they came back is the New Mutants. One of the New Mutants. Geez, I can't remember her name, but they were on some missions in their New Mutants book. And they're back on Krakoa now, and one of them has brought back an egg, basically. Oh, geez, I can't remember her name now. What is her name? I think it was Magma.
Magma, okay.
I think it was her. But basically, she brought back an egg, and unbeknownst to her, it was a king brood egg. Basically, what the broods are basically like, you could say they're kind of like from aliens, and they're kind of like the Borg in a sense, where they can infect you, and then a brood grows out of your body and things like that. So they've got
fun.
a queen, and this king brood egg. Basically, it's like it summons the brood, and they all fight over for the king, and then whoever takes the king is kind of like they're like the next leaders or something like that. So basically, they've brought the egg to Krakoa, and then suddenly the brood come to take back the egg. So the brood are invading Krakoa. You've got some scenes with Falcon, Scott Summons' brother, Scott Summons and Havoc's brother, and they actually talk about the last time he died, pretty much, because he's always having a dream, and he's in this void type of place. So there's in all of these X-Men comics, they have like white sheets where they kind of talk about stuff that's happening or that's happened, or bits of stories that you need to know, but they haven't really drawn it. So in this one, it's called the Shi'ar Battle Record. It's called The Fault, an after action report of the events surrounding the War of Kings and the death of Lalandra. So basically, Gladiator was crowned Magister of the Empire after the death of the exile of Lalandra, former Super Guardian, leader of the Imperial Guard. If you're an X-Men reader, you definitely know who Gladiator is and things and what's been happening. Black Bolt was killed at the conclusion of the war when a T-bomb detonated, ripping a hole in the fabric of space and time. This anomaly is known as the Vault, and nothing has ever escaped it. And Vulcan also killed at the conclusion of the war when a T-bomb detonated. Vulcan was also believed to have perished in the Vault. So that kind of indicates that there's some mystery that has happened, and we don't really know how Vulcan is back yet, how he came back. So that's kind of like a mystery for us to kind of look forward to, I guess. So basically, the brood comes to Krakoa. There's a big fight.
That sounds like Attack on the Block, like.
Yeah, it was. It does. It actually does remind me of that. It exactly reminds me of that. But there are some good action scenes in this, and it did feel kind of like a filler issue, although it was good as well. But it was a kind of like a filler issue. There's a lot of things that is happening in this issue that you kind of just thrown in. Of things happening, but it was a decent read, a very good read, and there is stuff happening in a sense where you can see that based on what you're reading here, everything's going to come into play at some point later on, but we'll see. It's this one was by it wasn't Hickman, it was Hickman. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, obviously it's
Hickman.
X-Men. Sorry.
Hickman.
So yeah, this one's Hickman and Mahmoud Asher, who was the artist, and the colorist was Sunny Gao.
MAMUT.
What's that?
When you said that Asher guy's name, how did you spell
I
his
can't
name?
even see it properly. It's really small. It looks like it's Mahmud.
Mahmoud.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's issue 8 of X-Men. Probably 3.5 gigs. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Seems fair.
but-
Yeah. It's a bit for a filler, so
Yeah.
yeah. Westworld,
Yes.
tell me, but don't spoil it because I haven't.
My favourite
yet.
thing of last week, mate, was Westworld season 3
Issue
episode 1.
Issue 1.
This series, man. Put it this way. I mentioned this to my friend, and he said it's a spoiler. It's not really a spoiler.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was saying Loki. It's not a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
If you like Cowboy Bebop and Blade Runner, you're probably you're gonna like this. This first one, it was over an hour long as well, and it actually felt like watching a film. I watched it again today as well.
I thought that was happy. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How dope was Happy?
We'll get to that. Carry on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was a good episode, man. Definitely one to be watching. It is different from the first 2 seasons. In the sense of the landscape is different, and there's things happen. It's not kind of built the same way when you got flashbacks and stuff like that. So this one is more of like you kind of see the world that they're actually living in, and the way they did it as well. They kind of did it in a sense of think about how we're living in the world right now, but think about it like 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line, and it really does fit. It really does fit pretty well. So
I need to watch it.
Definitely watch it if you can.
On that, I might just binge all of it, seeing as I'm unemployed and
binge all of it.
Yeah.
And how about your straight out of comics, man?
Right.
I like that.
So straight out of comics. This is a podcast basically by our friend Matthew Garvey.
Yay! The guy who did Ether and Ether, because I love Ether.
Yeah.
I never met Mac.
No, you haven't. No.
It's okay. You will meet him at Comic-Con. Lovely. Yeah. And he just had a new baby. Congrats.
Congratulations.
He did. I actually took it upon myself to congratulate him once the baby had
arrived.
That was me on Instagram. I did it. I run the page.
Yay.
So yeah, he has 2 other artists have got a new podcast. It's about 22 minutes long.
Nice.
You've got Thorpe at Mr. Thorpe. You got Matt at Matt Garvey 1981. And Totty, the life of Totty. So basically, the first one they because all 3 of them are artists, and they're kind of talking about just drawing in a sense of drawing for a company, like drawing the way that they're drawing, the different people that they've met, and it's just kind of like. Doing their type of work, and comparing it to how like artists for the big companies like Marvel and DC, because what they do, they are what's the word? Independent artists as well. But one of them did actually draw for he did draw for DC. I think it was a Catwoman. I could be getting it wrong. But yeah, so they kind of talk about the kind of pressure, not the pressure, but the when you draw expectations. So when you're drawing for your independent comic, you kind of you know, doing your thing. But then when you're doing, especially when you're drawing for like Spider-Man or Batman, for instance, you can't really be as free as you would like to be, because it's not just that one character. You got to think about Marvel, and then not even just Marvel. You got to think about, you know, Disney itself. So it's $1 billion industry in a sense. So
that's a good podcast.
Yeah,
a good episode.
It was a really good episode. It wasn't too long either, and they're really funny guys as well, all three of them.
Yay.
So
not like ours. Our podcast is so long, but it's great. You love it. Yay!
They are. It is a really good podcast. So hopefully they can carry it on, and just check it out. It's called Straight Outta Comics. They're on YouTube,
which is hilarious.
Yeah,
just, you know, for the culture. It's not cultural appropriation, hopefully, but we appreciate you for being urban.
But yeah, it's a really good podcast. So
yeah, and go support Matt Garvey and his comics, because his comics are brilliant.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Amazing. That's also what approved, man.